Have you ever heard of someone who is powerful but does not try to be famous? Someone who helps people work together to make the world better without needing attention. Well, let me tell you about an amazing African-American woman named Ella Baker. She was one of the most important organizers in the civil rights movement. Even though she did not always stand in front of the crowd, her work helped thousands of people stand up for fairness and justice. Ella Baker was born in 1903 in Norfolk, Virginia. When she was a little girl, her family moved to a small town called Littleton in North Carolina. Her grandparents were once enslaved, and they told her stories about how they never gave up. These stories taught young African-American Ella Baker about being strong, standing tall, and never letting unfairness win. Ella's grandmother especially inspired her. She refused to give in to unfair rules and once stood up to her enslaver even though it was very dangerous. This taught Ella that standing up for what is right is always important, even when it is scary. Ella was very smart. She went to Shaw University, one of the oldest historically black colleges in the South. At school, African-American Ella Baker was known for speaking up when rules felt unfair. She even spoke out against strict school rules that treated students like children instead of young adults. In 1927, she graduated as the class valedictorian, the top student in her class. She believed education was not just about getting a diploma. It was about learning how to help people and make life better for everyone. After college, African-American Ella Baker moved to New York City. The Great Depression had made life hard for many families. People lost their jobs and their homes. Ella worked hard to help her community. She helped form the Young Negroes Cooperative League, where African Americans could pool their money together to buy food and supplies at lower prices. Ella believed that when people worked together, they were stronger. She did not think one person should be the boss. She believed everyone should have a voice. In the 1940s, Ella Baker joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or NAACP. This was one of the largest groups fighting for civil rights. Ella traveled across the country helping African Americans set up local NAACP branches. She taught everyday people how to become leaders in their own towns. She believed the real power was not in famous leaders but in regular people working together. She often said, "Strong people do not need strong leaders." This meant that when people learn to lead themselves, they do not need someone to tell them what to do. In the 1950s, big things were happening in the fight for civil rights. After Rosa Parks was arrested for not giving up her bus seat, African Americans in Montgomery, Alabama started the Montgomery bus boycott. Ella Baker rushed to help. She helped form the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, or SCLC, with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Even though Dr. King was the face of the group, African American Ella Baker worked behind the scenes, organizing meetings, managing projects, and making sure everyone's voice was heard. But Ella often felt frustrated. Some of the ministers wanted to make decisions without asking the people. She believed that change had to come from the people themselves, not just from a few leaders. In 1960, a group of brave college students started doing sit-ins at lunch counters that refused to serve black people. Ella Baker saw their courage and knew right away they needed support. She helped start the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, or SNCC. SNCC became one of the most powerful groups in the civil rights movement. They helped with voter registration, led peaceful protests, and stood strong even when they were hurt or arrested. Ella encouraged the students to lead themselves. She did not try to take charge. Instead, she gave advice, shared her experience, and reminded them that they were capable of being great leaders. She believed young people had the power to change the world. Even after the big marches were over and some civil rights laws were passed, African American Ella Baker did not stop. She continued fighting for poor people, women's rights, and against racism. She worked with many different groups, helping them stay organized and focused. She always believed that the struggle for justice was not just one moment. It was a lifetime of working together to make things better. Ella Baker passed away in 1986. She did not become as famous as Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X, but her ideas shaped the whole civil rights movement. Today, many groups that fight for justice use her ideas. They believe in shared leadership, listening to everyone and building power from the bottom up. Ella taught the world that when people come together, learn together and fight together, they can create real change.